Hi there, Trevor here from Double Bill Movies. Hope you're doing alright in this lovely hot weather we're having. Hope you're drinking plenty of water. That reminds me, I'm going to do some. That reminds me, I'm going to do the same myself. The heat must be melting my brain, eh? Right. So I mentioned in my last video that I had a bit of a Severin delivery, and I got 4 titles in it, and those 4 titles are video nasties. So if you're interested, I'll show you. Now, this only one of these is a video nasty, but there are 2 films. Actually, there's 3 films in this set, and there's also a CD soundtrack for both the main films. Now, what I read on the back was the 2 films kind of been put together, edited together as one. I'll read that to you. Well, let me tell you which films they are first, and then I can read that bit to you. Basically, it's Axe, or also known as Lisa, and Kidnapped Co-Ed. And this is from Severin, US. And there is a track listing for the CD. That's the CD. And it's got both titles, so all the music for both films, and everything else is on that disc. Now, if you saw my and there we go, Lisa, the other name for Axe. So if you saw my interview with John from Movie Collector, which is on his channel, there was a brief discussion about seamless branching. Now, there was branching on DVD, but it wasn't very seamless. It was actually very, very poor. There was a pause while the disc went and found the piece of footage that it was branching to, and then once that bit had finished, then it had to get back to the original film. But on Blu-ray, hence seamless, it is completely seamless. You don't notice that it's happened. Now, I have a video in my video list somewhere that talks about this from the Wally Blu-ray, and John, I think we sort of touched on his video, but I actually show you a more in-depth version of that on my video, so have a look out for that one. Now, so this reads: in Axe, depraved killers on the run hold a young woman and her invalid grandfather hostage, and in an isolated farmhouse. In Kidnapped Co-Ed, the teenage daughter of a wealthy female forms a perverse relationship with her abductor. But as fans and critics have begun to compare Friedel's, that's the director, films to those of David Lynch and Terrence Malick, the complete story behind this strange journey can finally be told. So I think there's like a bonus item on here that explains everything. But then it goes on to say, Severin Films is proud to present both features restored from their original negatives, plus Fidel's recut of the 2 into one twisted crime epic called Bloody Brothers. So there we go. This is clearly a very, very cool release to have. Now, obviously, the more you buy from overseas, the cheaper it is in sort of shipping cost. So, you know, you might want to save up and get a few titles rather than just get the one, because you'll be rather hit by shipping and all that. But so that is Video Nasty Axe, and then its companion film, Kidnapped Co-Ed. Right, you should all know that I love my World War II and World War II movies, and there have been some video nasty World War II movies, and this one I think is probably one of the most infamous, and it is The Beast in Heat. Now, I've never seen this. I've got a pretty good idea after listening to John of Mondo Chelovek and Nige, who what is he, Rock God 2004, isn't he? Hi Nige. they've been doing a little series of their own on Video Nasties. They're currently working through category 1. Instead of me explaining it all, go on to Mondo Celebac's channel and look for those 2 videos they've done so far and learn all about Video Nasties. But this is one of the more infamous ones, and I kind of look forward to watching it, even though I know perhaps how poor it is, but how sort of just debauched and grotesque it is as well. So now this cover is censored, so I can show it. What about underneath? Yeah, so there is a UK SKU of this, but as I found it, I actually wasn't aware of the UK SKU until I saw John hold up his version on the last Video Nasties video they were doing. But as I was looking for these films on Severin's website, and I got down to this movie, I saw that they had now issued a slipcover for it. So on Blu-ray.com it won't say slipcover on original pressing, because that wasn't the case. I think they've literally created a slipcover for it. And I do wonder if 88 are going to do a similar thing, because they have mentioned it before. Do we want retrospective slipcovers? And yes, please, for films that had them and, you know, were obviously very limited. I'm going to do a video on packaging and various other things at some point soon. And as to why, once you've done a limited run, that's it. If you do anything else, it has to look different. But anyway, this title, Bloody Moon, and yes, basically that scene is in the film, but this is the slipcover, and yes, there is a star on the naughty bits, so it's okay to show this. But that scene there, there's a knife coming through her chest, and I was really impressed. I saw this on YouTube on my phone. I've mentioned before that there was a time I was unemployed for, well, a few years actually, and what I used to do was let my wife go to sleep next to me, and I would just sit there with some headphones in watching horror films on YouTube. And that kind of, I always liked horror films, but that started my journey on collecting not just Video Nasties, but as many horror films as I have. Saw some amazing ones, I saw some absolutely awful ones, but I did see a lot that have ended up on Blu-ray. And this was one of them, and I remember seeing this scene thinking, wow, how did they do that? You know, I kind of know quite a lot about filmmaking, but that one surprised me. So I look forward to watching this properly on my big screen TV on Blu-ray. So that is Bloody Moon. Now obviously I've been following John Perry, Mondo Celebac Movies, and his Video Nasties journey, and as he's managed to get hold of more titles, I've learnt about more of them. Yes, I could just go on Wikipedia and read the list that's on there, but it's no fun, is it? And of course, when John gets them, he shows them off, and so I can do the same here. And that is Cannibal Man, which apparently isn't really a cannibal movie. But I got the slip on it. Thankfully, on Severin's website, there was 3 options for this. There was the slip by itself. Now this is an American slim Amaray case, so you won't be able to get it for your UK release. Otherwise, you could get yourself a slim Amaray case and maybe trim down the inlay if you wanted to. But so there were 3 options. There was the film by itself, there was the slipcover by itself, or there was the film and slipcover. Of course, that's the version I went for. And again, film by itself or film with slipcover, because not everyone wants slipcovers. So, you know, all these other labels, 88, Arrow, they all need to kind of give that option, I think, because I think that's really good. Now, again, I said I'll do a video on packaging. They can only press so many. You have to press 1,000 slipcases at a time. So that's why 88 might only come out with 3,000, and they'll specify on the website 3,000 slipcases only. Anyway, I'll leave that for that video. So that's my 4 Severin titles that I received. Please like and subscribe. Check out all my other videos. Get in the comments and let's get some conversations going. And welcome if you're new to the channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.